Okay, Lucy, thanks for coming along today. Could I perhaps just start by explaining a little bit about what I'd like to do today? There isn't going to be any treatment or anything at this stage. Basically, all I want to do at the moment is find out a little bit about you and about the problems that you've been having, so that hopefully we can begin to understand something about those problems, and we can start thinking about what we might do about them.
Yeah.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? And if it's okay with you, I'll make some notes as we go along, because I can't keep everything in my head. All right?
Yeah.
So, Lucy, I've heard a very little bit from your doctor, but it would be useful, I think, to start off by hearing in your words what's brought you here today. What's the problem that you're worried about?
Well, I mean, I just feel awful, and I had a massive panic attack actually on the way to my doctor.
What, when you went to talk about this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it was just awful, and it just, I just can't keep going through life like this. It's just, yeah, I've just been feeling really anxious, quite upset about most things most of the time, and I just feel like I'm no good at anything.
Okay. So you're feeling anxious and upset quite a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You said that you had a panic attack when you went to the doctor. Is that something that's happened more than just that occasion? Are you getting panic attacks regularly at the moment?
Well, I mean, the worst place is probably Tesco. When I go into the supermarket, I just, I have to now only go in the evenings because I just don't want people to see me. I just don't want to sort of look stupid. And
well, we'll go into some of those details a bit more in a moment. But so panic attacks are happening if you don't avoid certain places. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, Tesco's is probably the worst, but I think it has happened in other places as well.
Can I just check, because panic is one of those kind of words that different people sometimes mean different things by it. Can I just check, what's a panic attack like for you? What happens when you're in a panic?
Well, I think I start to notice that, my heart rate my heart goes really fast, and it just feels like it's going to, jump out of my chest. And I start to sweat quite a lot. And I probably I tend to wear black if I'm quite nervous. I want to don't want people to see that I'm getting quite nervous and I'm perspiring.
So you're wearing black in order to hide the fact that you're perspiring?
Yeah, I think people are just going to see me, and they're just going to think, there's that girl and she's freaking out, and she's, look at her, she's just sweating, and it's just bizarre.
Right. So you're thinking that people will notice the fact that you're sweating, and that they'll think that you're weird or bizarre.
I mean, I don't know whether... I mean, no one's come to me and said, what's wrong with you? But, it's pretty obvious. I'm just, I look nervous. I feel nervous, and so I would wear a black jumper to cover that.
So even though that's never happened, you're pretty sure that is what other people are thinking?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So can I just ask you a little bit more about that? You mentioned in terms of how it feels in your body, that your heart rate is rising, that you feel sweaty.
Yeah.
Are there any other bodily changes that you notice when you're having a panic?
Well, I get really tense. And
in any particular place?
I can feel my shoulders and I feel like I kind of want to, shrug my shoulders up quite close, and I just sort of want to hide. I don't want to be there. I kind of want to sink into the floor. And if I could be invisible, I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when's the last panic attack that you had? You mentioned that you'd had one when you went to the doctors. Is that the last one you had, or have you had one more recently than that?
Well, no, I think it was probably the last one. It wasn't. Yeah. I mean, I feel pretty anxious, quite a lot of the time, but that was probably the one that sort of stuck in my memory.
Okay. How long ago was that, roughly?
Well, she put me on to you, and didn't take that long. It's about 3 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But you think you can remember that quite clearly?
Yeah, yeah.
Could I ask you to try and remember that for me whilst I ask you a bit about it? Now, I just want to make sure before we do that sometimes when people start thinking about panic attacks, that may be enough sometimes to make them feel quite uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you find that this is getting too difficult for you, please tell me and we can back off for a little while. Okay. So thinking back to that last one that we were just talking about, can you remember at what point, what was the very first thing that you noticed that made you think, something's going on here?
I'm getting quite anxious just thinking about it right now, actually.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Is it all right if we carry on talking about it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean...
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I started picking up on it when I was in the car park, actually, because I noticed there was quite a few cars there.
Okay.
And I started thinking, well, it's going to be quite a lot of people sort of waiting around, and you know what waiting rooms are like. They're just, there's just so many people, and everyone's really pretending to read a magazine, but they're really looking at everybody else. And
okay.
I started thinking, well, if I'm going to go in that waiting room, and they're all going to look at me, and they're going to think, what's wrong with her? Why is she like that?
Okay.
She's just a...
So, sorry, let me just kind of slow you down a little bit, because I think that there's a lot of detail here that may be important sometimes. So, on this occasion at least, the very first thing was your thinking there's going to be lots of people in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thinking that means that they would all be looking at you or at other people as well? Or?
I guess I hadn't really thought of it quite like that, but yeah, me.
At you specifically?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you had that thought as you went through the car park. How did that affect you when that thought went through your mind? How did that make you feel?
Well, pretty awful. I'm sort of feeling quite sort of really tense, and sometimes I feel a bit sick, but I didn't feel that sick at that point. But yeah, I was feeling pretty panicky and just thinking, perhaps I shouldn't come here. Perhaps I should just go home. Perhaps it'd be a lot easier if I just, didn't have to come. But thought, no, I need to come. I need to sort of say what's going on. And yeah, so then I just thought, well, I'm just going to go in. But then I got worse as I got in. I could sort of feel it, the anxiety getting worse, and feel myself panicking.
So you have the thoughts, then you start to feel tense and panicky, and you're thinking about just turning around and going out, but then you decided to carry on.
Yeah.
But things got more difficult for you.
Yeah, there were lots of people there, and I could just feel myself getting worse, and I was starting to sweat, and I thought, right, everyone's going to see that I'm really, unwell, and they're just going to think I'm, an absolute freak. They're going to think I'm so stupid. And
sounds as if it's quite difficult even to remember that. Were you having any of those thoughts when you came here today?
Well, not really. My doctor was quite understanding about it and said that, it wasn't just me, and, I could probably get some help for it. So.
Okay. So you're beginning to feel quite tense and panicky, and you're feeling sweaty. Did you notice on this occasion any other bodily feelings? Did you have the heart pounding, for example, that you mentioned?
Well, I could feel my pulse sort of going quite a lot, and my shoulders, I feel my shoulders getting quite tense, but mostly it's the sweating, 'cause I think it's just so obvious.
So the sweating is the very worst thing for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I just ask you, just as a bit of a side note, you mentioned earlier that nobody has ever kind of said, "Oh, look at that sweaty woman." Has anybody ever mentioned to you that you get sweaty in these situations? Maybe family or friends or anything like that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I mean, as I say, I kind of try to cover it because I'm
Yeah.
just quite aware of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe they haven't noticed. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, so that's a really helpful picture of what happens. This particular incident that you were talking about, is that a fairly typical incident, or was there anything unusual about it?
Well, I mean, I get like a similar sort of experience when I go to Tesco's because it's just loads of people and everyone's sort of standing around and especially in the queue, they're just standing around looking at people. And
right. But what happens is fairly similar
yeah.
to what you just described.
I mean, that one was pretty bad, but
it was particularly bad.
Yeah, but I think on the whole, that's pretty much what happens. Yeah.
And how long does it take to go from kind of feeling reasonably okay? I mean, I know you said that you're feeling anxious quite a bit at the time,
yeah.
but to go from that into this kind of complete panic state?
I mean, if I was in the car park walking into the GP surgery, it's probably a couple of minutes.
Okay, so it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
How long does it last on average? At that level?
At that level.
At that kind of panicky level, yeah.
I mean, as I say, I feel quite anxious a lot.
Yes.
But I think that can last sometimes till I kind of leave and I get out. And then I feel a lot better because I'm not there and people aren't looking at me anymore. But I think, when I was in the GP surgery, when I got in, it was better after that. It was just us. So I guess that was about 10 minutes.
Okay. And is that fairly typical that, I don't know, somewhere between kind of a few minutes and half an hour would be how long these real panics would last?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how often is that happening at the moment?
Well, I guess it depends on what I'm doing, but I mean the bad ones, I'd say every a couple of weeks. It's not so bad. I mean, I don't have any. The bad ones don't happen as often.
Right. What about less bad ones? How often are they happening?
Probably, say, a couple times a week.
Okay.
So, but it depends on what I'm doing.
Sure. I want to come on to talk about that in a moment. Maybe we can move on to that now, actually. So, you've mentioned that Tesco's is a bad place for this. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is there something special about Tesco's, or is it just that happens to be the supermarket that you go to?
Well, I don't know. Tesco's is Tesco's. Yeah. No. I guess. I mean, I think it's because I know there's people there, and I live in a small place, and so I might run into somebody I know, and everyone goes to Tesco's. So. Yeah. So Tesco's is pretty bad.
So part of it that's important is not just that there's a lot of people there, but that some of them are liable to be people that you know.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I mean, if they see me and they think, what's she doing? Why does she look so stupid? Just, why is she panicking? Mm-hmm. Then I think, if that's somebody I know, then I don't really want them thinking that. It doesn't.
Okay.
It's not a nice thought.
Yeah. So Tesco's is bad because there's people. It's bad because they might be people who know you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that makes it a particularly bad place for you?
Well, it's just. I think it's because people are standing around. I think when you get to the queue and you're waiting to pay, and it's, people are looking. People are they're not really doing anything, so they sort of can see you. And I mean, there's nowhere really for me to go. You just sort of stand in the queue, and if something happened, it'd be pretty obvious. I mean, everyone would see me, and if I fell over, or I don't know, if I had a panic attack, they'd see, and I don't know what would happen.
You mentioned just now if something happened, and then you said something about falling over. I'm wondering, what is it that you think might happen, or what's the worst thing that you think might happen in one of these situations?
Well, if I passed out, I mean, if I got so anxious, and I can feel myself getting really tense, and my heart rate just feels like it's my heart feels like it's going to literally come out of my chest, and I suppose I get dizzy sometimes, actually. And, I kind of think, well, if I got so anxious, I could just pass out, and then what would happen? Just fall on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure people, might not say anything bad, but, they'd think, what's wrong with you, stupid girl?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you, control yourself? Why are you odd? Why aren't you normal?
And do you have ideas in your mind about what kind of answers they would be coming up with to those questions? What would they think had made you fall over? Or
I probably think I'm mad.
they think you were mad?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that the very worst thing that might happen, that you fall over? Do you ever think about anything beyond that?
Well, I mean, the fact that they're thinking quite nasty things about me and thinking, that I'm stupid, and just that feels pretty terrible. Just be thinking that I'm sort of not worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, not good enough.
You're not thinking that, for example, I don't know, that you might collapse and die or something like that. It's not that kind of thought that's going through your mind.
No, I don't think I've ever thought that.
Okay.
Pretty sure I'd wake up and there'd be lots of people all staring at me.
All right.
Yeah. It's always come back to waking up.
Okay. And can I just check, because it sounds pretty clear as if it's other people are a major part of this for you.
Yeah.
Is that right? So, suppose, for example, that you could go to Tesco's. Some of them are open 24 hours now, aren't they? Suppose you could go to Tesco's at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you'd be pretty sure that you wouldn't run into anybody else at all.
Yeah.
Would that be easier for you?
Well, I already do go in the evening.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I try to go kind of quite late because I just think, well, avoid people if I could, then it's easier.
Okay. So you would deliberately try and be there at times that are less likely to be busy. Okay.
Sort of 10 o'clock, there's not many people.
Yeah.
It's quite empty. So.
Yeah. Okay. So Tesco's is bad?
Yeah.
Are there any other things that you're aware of that make a difference to how difficult this is, or situations that you know are going to be difficult?
Well, I don't really go out with friends as much as I used to, so it's not. But I think if I went out to a pub, or if we went out for a meal or something, I'd probably feel the same. But I'm quite worried about that at the moment, so I haven't really been going out.
You haven't been going out because of thinking that it would cause this problem, or for some other reason?
Well, yeah, I think I've just been feeling quite anxious, and so I just thought, well, I want my friends to see, and they don't really know they wouldn't necessarily know what to say, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin the friendship by kind of like showing this part.
And if you were going to feel anxious, it sounds to me, can I just check out that this is right, that it would be worse for you to be surrounded by people who knew you than it would be to be surrounded by strangers. Is that right?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it would be better with friends.
Okay.
Because I think they're friends because they like me. But yeah, I just don't want to, I think they like me, and they don't, I think,
so friends would be more likely to be kind of forgiving.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't really want them to know, like, the whole picture.
Okay. So can I just try and put this together with what you were saying before? Because you mentioned that one of the things that was bad about Tesco's was that there might be people in there who would know you.
Yeah.
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 But you're also saying that actually it would be better to have friends than strangers. So is it that the people you might bump into Tesco as kind of somehow halfway between being friends and strangers?
Yeah.
Like people who know you but don't really know you?
Yeah.
Is
like
that right?
acquaintances, people that know of you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a kind of continuum from complete strangers who are not so bad, and at the other end, friends who are not so
Yeah.
bad, but it's the people in the middle
Yeah.
who are the worst.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that my friends, I've told a couple of them that I haven't been feeling all that well.
Right.
But I haven't told them the whole story. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd hope that they would be understanding. I mean, you never know, but
Okay.
I'd hope they would.
Okay. So in terms of difficult situations, we've got Tesco's, going to pubs or restaurants or places like that. Anything else that's difficult for you?
Well, at the moment, so I don't have a job at the moment, and I've been on income support.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was actually, I went to the job centre, and actually, that was really difficult because, I had to talk to people, and they didn't really know them, and I had to kind of explain, what I was going through,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really difficult. That was quite hard because I kind of thought, well, some of these people are here to help me, and but what are those people, like the secretaries who were just sat there listening? I mean, what are they thinking? And that was quite hard. I just can't stand the idea of going and looking for a job and meeting a new employer. I mean,
Because what would be difficult about that for you?
I guess I'm worried that they're not going to, they're just going to think that I can't do the job, or, I'm not competent enough, or, yeah.
Okay. So, kind of interviews
Yeah,
are liable to be difficult.
yeah.
But this interview, not so much, because what? Because you think that...
Well, they were there to help me, and the person who interviewed me wasn't in an interview, but the person who talked to me said was there to help me. So I kind of got that, but yeah.
Okay. Anything else that's a particularly difficult situation for you at the moment?
I think that's what's coming to mind.
Okay. We were talking just now about one of the things that makes a difference to this is exactly who the people are on that kind of continuum from strangers to friends. Are there other factors that make a difference to how difficult the problem is for you?
Sorry, what do you mean?
Well, often when people have this kind of problem, there are lots of different kinds of factors that may make a difference to how bad it is. So for some people, for example, being in a hot room is worse than being in a cool room. Or wearing some kind of, some kind of clothes may be more difficult than other kinds of clothes, and so on. I'm just wondering if there's anything like that for you.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, because I'm quite worried about sweating and showing it to the people. Then I'd rather it was a cool room.
Okay.
I think, well, I guess if it's a busy street, or an empty street, it's worse if it's a busy street.
Okay.
If I've got quite a lot to do, if I had a lot of things to do in a day, then that would make it worse because I had time pressure.
Oh, okay.
And well, I think it's worse if I know I have to do it.
You mean if there's no easy way out?
Yeah. I mean, I knew I had to go to my doctor. I knew I had to talk to my GP about how I was feeling, because it just couldn't get any worse, really. But, I mean, I had to go. But if if it was just an ingrown toenail, I probably wouldn't have gone.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else along those lines?
No, I mean, I can't think of any examples now, but
All right.
that's what's coming to mind now, definitely.
Okay. One last bit that I'd like to ask you about the anxiety and the panics. You've mentioned that one of the ways that you try and cope with this is that you try and stay away from some kinds of situations, like going out with friends, or you mentioned that when you do have to go to the supermarket, you try and go there at a time when it's quiet. Are there other things that you've done to try and cope with this problem and to try and avoid the difficulties?
I think occasionally I've put a paper bag in my handbag. I don't do it all the time, but I read somewhere that that's actually supposed to help you to not panic.
Yeah.
But I've never used it. And
You've never used it?
To be honest,
Okay.
I don't know what I would do with it. But, but I have read that that's the case.
Right. Okay. Anything else that you do to kind of keep yourself safe?
As I say, I do wear black sometimes.
Yes,
to
you
sort of-
mentioned that, didn't you? To hide
Yeah.
the sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I do. I mean, if someone talks to me, I might sort of look away and maybe stare at the floor. Kind of trying to blend in. Sort of, as I say, quite nice to hide in the floor and just bit like a wallflower. So try and avoid eye contact. Maybe
You're doing things to try and avoid attracting attention.
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
Yeah, I'd quite like to just blend in with
Hope
the
that
crowd.
people just won't notice that you're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I might try and make myself a bit sort of maybe smaller in the room, or yeah, just sort of not look like I'm kind of involved with what's going on.
Right.
So if they say some people are chatting and someone comes up and joins the conversation, I'd probably look away or pretend to read a magazine or something. So I'm not really part of that, and they wouldn't think that I was part of that.
Do you have any idea what other people think when you do that?
Well, I'm hoping they don't think about me. They just don't notice me. Because if they did, I'm just quite worried. Just worried they'll think I'm, I'll say something stupid and.
Okay. And are there other things that you currently avoid other than going out with friends and job interviews and similar things?
Yeah.
Are there other things that you've stopped doing because of these problems?
Yeah, I used to play. I used to play a lot of sports. That was mostly in school, but I did play. I played for a women's football team, and I haven't really been going. And I used to ride, but I don't do that anymore.
Don't do any of those things.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
If I can avoid family things, I would. But I mean, sometimes you have to go. Yeah.
I haven't asked you about your living circumstances. Do you live on your own, or with your family, or boyfriend, or what?
Well, at the moment I'm back in with my parents.
Okay.
Yeah, I was living with a boyfriend, but now I'm back at home.
Okay. So we can talk a bit more about that in a moment. Good. Before we do, can I just ask you, who else is in the family? There's your parents. Have you got brothers or sisters at home?
Yeah, I have a sister, and she's not at home anymore. She's moved out.
So it's just you and your parents
Yeah.
at home. And how do they react to your difficulties?
Well, I mean, I don't think my dad would really want to know. I haven't really talked to him much about it.
What makes you think he wouldn't want to know?
Well, I mean, I think he sort of thinks that you should get on with your own life and sort of, I guess, you're your own person and you can't really do things all the time with somebody holding your hand. So, but my mum, I have talked to my mum about this, and she's pretty supportive. And, yeah.
Okay. And supportive in what way? What does she do to support you?
Well, she listens, and I mean, she says, people wouldn't think I'm stupid, and I can do whatever I like. And
she kind of reassures you that your worries are groundless.
And she thinks I'll get over this. Yeah. So.
Okay. Does she try and push you into doing things, or does she support you in
No,
staying at home?
no. I mean, to be honest, I haven't told her again quite how bad I think it is. But no, I think she's not the same as my dad, but I think she also thinks that, you know, I kind of get on with it myself, and yeah, she doesn't push me to do things.
Okay, good. All right, I'd like to talk in a minute about kind of what's happened up to this point, how we got here. But before we do that, is there anything else that you think is really important about the problems as they are now that we haven't discussed yet?
No, I don't think so. I think that's about it.
Okay.